everybody. Welcome back to the Star Power Cast. I'm your co-host, Joe, the baseball nerd, joined by
Cincinnati Dennis coming from the Cincinnati Razorback room. Welcome back to the Dirty Dozens.
Yeah. All right, we are here about to introduce to you the seventh inning.
And we're going to stretch during the middle of this inning, aren't we?
Yeah. This is where the conversations and comments start to get aggressive, I bet.
Right. We're going to talk about pitch counts and warming some people up in the bullpen, but we're going to talk about players number 25 through 36 today. And I'm pumped. This is where the rubber meets the road, baby.
Okay.
This is where you separate the men from the not men.
Men from the superstars, men from
There it
the
is,
baseball
yes.
gods type of stuff.
And we're gonna start with player number 36, who's up on your screen right now. Controversial player right here, not in the Hall of Fame, but with Hall of Fame numbers. How can you stop that? A-Rod.
Because he did steroids.
That's what it is. He's
and that's why we put him at number 36. It's like, dude, you cannot deny the type of player this guy is, or he was. But you can, if you have 100+ ranking system, drop him because you think, hey, you did performance-enhancing drugs, so that puts you down some notches. There are some people out there that are going to say he shouldn't be on these types of lists at all.
I can't say that. The guy, even players, his contemporaries and players that are now and players that were even before him talk about him as probably the number 1 or 2 shortstop ever.
I get it, but and it's tough to take out reputation in this particular list, and so that's why this guy's kind of hard to judge, I think. So A-Rod, almost 700 lifetime home runs, right?
Yeah.
You look at the back of the baseball card, and he's just like, kids will look at him in the future and be like, why is this guy not a Hall of Famer? And that's when you got to have that long talk and be like,
yep,
he did some bad stuff, people.
He did some bad stuff. Yeah. He's always on the TV, though. He's a star.
I will say this. I was highly compelled or intrigued by the documentary that they had on HBO a little while ago. I watched it. It was a good documentary. And it was one of those.
The guy was a player.
Yeah. That's our number 36.
All right, number 35, another Yankee.
Oh yeah, this is pretty much the Yankee section today.
I did have A-Rod up there in a Yankee uniform, and now we've got Mr. Yankee right now, the captain.
Yeah, and I foresee some people heavily disagreeing with us putting this dude this high.
I think you have the right to disagree, but you're wrong. This guy, Aaron Judge, is definitely. I think he might even be a little too low. Joey Votto was on TV today, and I watched him say, this is the best hitter in baseball right now.
He is. And, I mean, unfortunately, this season in 2026, he suffered a broken rib, and so that's going to take him out for the majority of the season. But the dude's almost got 400 career home runs, which he'll probably, if he stays healthy, he'll get to by next year. Looking at probably getting to 500 if he stays healthy. And that's the big caveat with Judge is if he stays healthy.
There it is. He's going to get hurt almost every year. The guy's got an OPS of 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unheard of. 1,000. Hits a home run every 11 at-bats. An 8.6 average WAR. The guy is a beast.
3-time MVP.
Yeah.
2 seasons of 10+ WAR.
Oh,
Rookie of the Year award. And I think the one thing that Yankees people are going to say is, hey, yeah, we didn't have the championship. And I'm just kind of, my backlash against that is you got to pay attention to the postseason the last 20 years. There's only been one franchise that's won consecutive titles now, right? That's the Dodgers. The Yankees haven't won the World Series since 2009. They've been like they had like a 15-year stretch where they didn't even go to the World Series. It's a different postseason now. So I don't know if we can judge these players' greatness just on the fact that they don't win a World Series. Are we going to say Griffey's not great? Are we going to say Ty Cobb's not great? Are we going to say Ted Williams isn't great? Come on,
right.
I mean, he's getting up in the stratosphere with those guys with his dominance. So yeah, Aaron Judge, 35.
All right, we go to number 34, and we're going to stay right there with another one, and they call him the captain.
Yeah.
This is Derek Jeter coming in at number 34.
Derek Jeter, number 34. I think he's placed pretty well. The only mark against him would be defensive numbers, but the dude still won Gold Gloves, even though they vote for Gold Gloves in a weird
And
way.
you know, the strange thing about Jeter, and we talk about his range being limited because he's one of the lower range percentage-wise shortstops. But when they show highlights of Derek Jeter, they show two defensive plays. They show him with the relay against the A's, and then they show him diving into the bleachers, showing off range. I mean, they don't show Mr. November's home run to right field, and they don't show his 3,202 or whatever it is base hits. They show the two defensive plays, which was actually his weakness.
And I want to kind of just like gripe just a little bit about the defensive haters. If we look at the actual numbers and we say Derek Jeter on average for his career gets to 4 ground balls a game to make an out, and the average shortstop of his time got to 4.5, right? So that means on average, Derek Jeter fields half a ground ball less than the average dude in the majors. So every one game, the average shortstop makes one more out than Derek Jeter. Now, is that going to cost you ball games if the dude's also hitting 300 with an OBP of 377, right? This guy's going to constantly score runs for you. And our star power game, he's a +1 shortstop. So this guy, even though there's a defensive downside on the range, the upside for the offense kind of outweighs that, in my opinion.
Well, that's why you get an average WAR for him right there in the middle of our greatness. I mean, he's a 4.2 average WAR, and the 4.2 average WAR is amazing, but in the top 100s, it's kind of average.
But he also gets in because he's 3,000 plus hits for an infielder. He stayed with the same team, multiple World Series titles, World Series MVP, All-Star Game MVP, Rookie of the Year, the face of baseball for an entire generation. I mean, Derek Jeter is by far one of the greatest players of all time. Definitely deserves a spot in the top 100. Definitely deserves a spot in the top 50. And I think he's pretty well placed at 35.
And I say one last thing about Derek Jeter.
34, excuse me.
He's at 34. Yeah. And I say one last thing about Derek Jeter. Of all the players in the history of baseball that have come and had as many at-bats, official at-bats as Derek Jeter, there's only one player with a higher batting average than Derek Jeter that have as many at-bats, and his name is Ty Cobb. Other than that, nobody has as high an average as Jeter with that many at-bats. That's how great this player is. So we go to number 33. Are you ready?
Yeah. It's not another Yankee, is it?
No, it isn't. This time it's a red Oriole, first black manager in the history of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Robinson. One of my boyhood heroes right here comes in at number 33.
One of the worst trades in MLB history.
Yes, it was. No doubt about that.
I mean, not bad for the Orioles. Really great for the Orioles.
The Orioles got a very old Frank Robinson who, in his first year there, won the Triple Crown and hit 2 home runs in the World Series off Sandy Koufax. A very old Frank Robinson who later beat the Reds in the 1970 World Series. A very old Frank Robinson. Oh, my goodness. What a terrible trade.
So Frank Robinson for the Orioles from 66 to 71, when the Orioles were at their peak in that era, averaged 30 home runs a year, 90 RBI, 5 stolen bases, hit 300, OBP of over 400, and slugging of over 500, and an OPS plus of 169 for the Orioles. And that was ages 30 to 35.
Unbelievable. And won the Triple Crown in 1966, which that's a big accomplishment. Might be done this year.
I will say this too. His OPS plus during those old man years, according to the Reds, his OPS plus was higher for the Orioles than it was the Reds.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, the guy won the Rookie of the Year, was the first player ever to win MVP in both leagues. He was the first player to ever do that. Like I said, we used to get into actual fist fights over who was going to be Frank Robinson that day up at the Sandlot. Yeah, great ball player, tremendous ball player. Love watching Rocky.
That's our number 33.
Go to 32. This one's fun right here. Let's go back to New York and go to the Yankees and talk about the Sandman.
Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time. And spoiler alert, if you've been paying attention to the rest of our episodes, he's the only closer we've put on this show.
The only so far.
Well, who's going to be above him? Who's going to be above him?
That number 32.
If we put somebody above Mariano Rivera, that would just be bad. Right.
I was thinking, maybe it would be maybe Camilo Pascual.
I fought for Trevor Hoffman, ladies and gentlemen. I fought for Trevor Hoffman. I really did. I lost that. I lost that argument.
Now, Mariano Rivera, I consider him, and this 32 is for me is way too low.
I think it's right.
We had this argument before, but I think this is the greatest pitcher in the history of baseball. I really believe that, and here is why. I'm going to make my argument for him, and you're going to agree, you're going to disagree, you're going to love it, you're going to hate it.
Okay.
But when he came in the ninth inning, 652 times the game was on the line.
More than that.
Actually, more than that, because he saved at an 87% clip.
Yeah.
652 times he won that ball game.
Saved the ball game. He saved the ball game.
Saved the ball game. In the postseason, he saved it over a 90% clip. Basically, when this guy came in for his one inning, you lose. He comes in, the game is over.
He's also the all-time leader in ERA plus. He's the all-time leader in games finished.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you have to put Mo on the list. You got to.
I think so. And like I say, this is one guy that when he came in the game, you basically knew you were going to win.
He's over.
The game was over.
13-time All-Star.
13 times. He missed one of his prime seasons because he was shagging a fly ball in the outfield.
Yeah.
Broke my heart, man. And this guy, I rooted against him, but I rooted for him every time.
Yeah,
I rooted against him, but I rooted for him. This was fun guy to watch.
There are some great closers today, but none of them seem to have. Actually, I'll take that back. There might be one. None of them have the longevity that Mariano Rivera had. And the one that I think that has the longevity, if you think about it, might be Aroldis Chapman. Like, he's found some fountain of youth serum, maybe, to kind of stick around a long time. But Chapman has been around since 2010, and that's a 17-year for a reliever right now. Mo did it for 18 or so.
Mo did it for 18, 19 years.
Yeah.
And Chapman, let me tell you, Chapman's in a hot streak right now with the Red Sox. As of today, the Red Sox have won 14 games in a row. So, hey, we'll move on.
Yeah.
To player number 31, and here is one of our favorite to talk about, the Napoleon Lajoie, or LaJoie, depending on how you want to say it. This is a player from the 1890s to the 1900s. This is the superstar early in the 1900s.
So you know how Urban Legend has Ty Cobb as being a mean player?
Right.
If you actually,
nasty player.
If you actually read the literature and read more of stuff historically, Lajoie is meaner than Ty Cobb. Like he was more of a dirty player than Ty Cobb was. And
he was big guy.
And he does. People don't remember for that, but like Lajoie played hard. He played hard. And a lot of people like painted Cobb as the bad guy, but Lajoie, like a team basically cheated to give him a batting title, right?
Right.
So the very last day of the season, the third baseman was like, you know what? I don't like Ty Cobb, so
I'm going to play left field.
I'm going to play back here and let you bunt for like 4 hits and then win the batting title.
Yeah, and they took it away from him though. MLB took it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy right here hit 420. Was it 424 one year?
Yeah.
1901 for first year of the American League.
426. Yeah. And he led the league in almost everything except for triples. But the one thing that I think historically, if you're a Napoleon Lajoie fan, is his All-Star baseball card back in the day when you were a kid, and they missed it was a misprint, right? It was a misprint.
Yeah.
They put 3 singles on his card, correct?
Right.
So there's been a running gag since we've started doing this, is like every time we make a Napoleon Lajoie card, we definitely make sure that he has 3 singles on there, right?
Not on this one, we did
Oh,
not.
okay.
Not on this one. We just made him. But the pick, I'll tell you this: the photograph on the Lajoie card is amazing.
Well, cool.
23 points for a second baseman, stout. Card number 30. Now we go to player number 30, and I think that these two players should be reversed. You think?
No way.
And you talked me into it because you say that Eddie Collins at number 30 is better than Lajoie at 31.
I actually think Eddie Collins is the greatest second baseman of all time.
And back it up.
Okay, well, let's look at longevity. Played from 1906 to 1930. Is that what, 25-year career?
Yes, let me pull Lajoie back
Okay.
right on the screen here. Lajoie, 1896 to 1916. So he beat him by 3 years.
Beats him by years. Well,
Yes.
3 years?
4 years.
Okay. Multiple World Series titles for two different teams.
Correct. And Lajoie did not have that.
Never won one.
No.
Now, he did not win a batting title. However, he was never really the premier guy on his team, right? There was always other stars that kind of overshadowed him just a little bit. He was like Home Run Baker, for example, overshadowed Eddie Collins, even though Eddie Collins was the best player, right? Rube Waddell
Right.
was the best player on the Phillies, even though the best pitcher on the Phillies, even though Eddie Collins was typically coming up as their best player. This guy
Right.
averages 7.1 WAR a season.
That is stout.
7.1.
Lajoie is the same, 7.1.
Okay. Lajoie, 3,300 hits. How much does Napoleon have?
3,000.
So he's got more hits. He's a better base stealer than Lajoie. Over 740 stolen bases for Collins.
Yes.
Okay. And his OBP is 424. What's Lajoie?
It's not, I don't think it's that high.
No, it's not, because Collins walks a ton.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Lajoie gets more extra base hits and hits for power. These guys, it's a good argument, and we have them back to back. They could be flipped. They couldn't be flipped. That's up to you guys out there to tell us what you think by leaving your comments. By the way, do like and subscribe what you're hearing to right now. If you like it, do subscribe. We're going to player number 29.
This
Turkey
guy's
Stern.
Yeah, this guy's got one of the best first names. I don't think his real name's actually Turkey, but one of the best first names in baseball. And here is one of our other Negro League picks. I think this guy is right where he needs to be. We don't have like a vast amount of stats for him, just like other occasions that we've had. But dude, we still see that we still have numbers for 3,800 at bats, right? We can see that on average he's a 30 home run guy, 19 triple guy, 38 double guy per season, steals over 20 bases, slugs over 600, OPS over 1,000, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy absolutely dominant for his league, and superstar of the 20s and the 30s.
I got to listen to the interview with his wife about him, and he was revered in the Negro Leagues. He just was amazing. The guy was, and his Star Power baseball card is one of the best ones out there. It's a must-have.
The struggle I've always had with Turkey Stearns is finding different types of pictures of him. There's only like 2 or 3 that actually exist that are clear, you know?
Right. I took one of the pictures and then put him in the Detroit uniform, so he looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks good. Oh, and this guy had a 348 career average in the Negro Leagues.
Yeah.
That's tremendous. We go to player number 28 now, and we're going to get some flack on this one. Player number 28 is Charlie Hustle.
Pete Rose.
Also
a known cheater.
The hit king. Now, the cheater that Pete Rose wasn't in the game, it was to the game. That's the cheating that they accused Pete Rose of: gambling on baseball, not fixing games, not throwing a World Series, but gambling on baseball. And then Rose, later in life, he admitted to it.
Do we really? Come on, he's the type of guy that every time you see interviews of him, you just know that you'll never hear the official whole truth. You just don't. You won't. Even if he's on his dying deathbed, all that type of stuff. He wants to go out as, you know, an all-time great. And now as a baseball player, yes, but like, you have to admit, he messed up. He made a poor adult choice, just like another person on this list that we just did with A-Rod, right? They made poor adult choices that's going to affect their legacy.
It definitely does. Pete Rose comes up for the very first time on the Hall of Fame ballot in 2 years. In 2028, he becomes eligible for the Hall of Fame ballot. He'll be on the Veterans Committee, old timers, if they're going to vote him in or not. What are you predicting?
This is rough. Here's the thing. They say banned for life, right? That's the
Correct.
quote unquote wording or phrasing of that. Banned for life.
Lifetime ban.
And he's no longer with us. And so is it Pete Rose's life or is it for the lifetime of baseball? What does that actually mean? Does he need to be in there? Do we need to forgive and forget? I say yes.
He's been reinstated.
I say forgive and forget. Yeah, forgive and forget. And actually, maybe not forget, just forgive. Because all people are human, they're going to make mistakes. Now, do you punish them for the mistakes? Absolutely. You need to be punished for your mistakes. That's how the system works. But why go out somebody in their grave? I just don't see the point of that anymore.
So if he does get elected, are we going to put on his plaque, was banned for life from baseball?
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely, I agree. But I do agree with you. He belongs in the Hall of Fame with a plaque. He belongs in the plaque gallery. The hit king.
Yep.
And what a great ambassador for baseball. The only person in Major League history to start an all-star game at 5 different positions. That's unbelievable. Winner of 3 World Series, was in 3 others. He made one of the most memorable defensive plays ever made in a World Series when he was with the Phillies. And the catcher for the Phillies, I think it was Boone,
yeah,
whoever it was, tried to catch a pop fly over by the first base dugout. And Rose, with the greatest baseball instincts of anybody ever, was standing there close to him. And as Boone bobbled the ball, Pete Rose reached out and snatched it and caught it. One of the most, it's almost like a Jeter relay, but it was in the World Series, not a playoff game. Unbelievable. That's one of the things I remember best about Pete Rose was that play, and as a Philly. Yes. All right, enough about Pete. Go back to number 27.
Jackie Robinson.
I like where he is. He could be higher, he could be lower, but putting him at the top 27, what a ball player.
I mean, I think he's where he needs to be just because he had not as long as career as some of these other guys because he came in when he was, 28 years old when he was with Brooklyn. But definitely when he peaks out from 28 to 34, those 7 years or so, I mentioned Eddie Collins is the greatest second baseman ever. And a lot of people get onto me on my other YouTube channel when I talk about my second baseman list. I don't put Jackie Robinson on my second baseman list because he's not a full-time second baseman.
Right.
I mean, he played there, but only for 3-4 seasons max.
Yeah.
So maybe 5 seasons, I guess. So
his first year, he was first baseman.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, he played second base, but he wasn't a full-time second baseman his whole career. Now, people will say, well, everybody views him as a second baseman. Good I appreciate that. But look at the numbers, guys. Okay. I think he's one of the greatest we put Pete Rose and Jackie Robinson back to back. They're both the same type of guy where they can play multiple positions.
Okay. You've got the Major League website pulled up or whatever. I'm looking at this. Did I misprint this? I've got him as a 7.3 average WAR.
Yes, that's correct.
That's holy crap.
Yeah, no, base running and fielding.
That's better. That's better than LaJoie and Eddie Collins.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Goodness gracious, this guy. So, okay, newly gained respect right there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Comes in, and what more can you say? They have Jackie Robinson Day, and number 42 is retired everywhere.
April 15th.
I love it. All right, going to number 26. Some people say he's the greatest third baseman that ever played the game. He played for Philadelphia his entire career, Michael Jack Schmidt.
I think I wanted to put this guy higher originally because he probably is our best third baseman on the list.
The guy was a fielding Gold Glove great and had 500 plus home runs. OPS of 908, only played for the Phillies, played for 18 years. And you know what I really liked? One of the things that made me really like Schmidt was no fanfare and no goodbye tour. He just said, I'm out.
Yeah.
And he walked in the middle of the season. He walked.
Yep. Led the league in home runs 8 different times. 3
Yeah,
MVPs, World Series champion. 7.2 average WAR as a third baseman.
We're up there in the big time WAR guys right now.
Yeah, his total zone rating for career is 129. So this guy, yeah, I mean, he's definitely deserving of the Golden Gloves. Absolutely.
And I love the picture of him when he's like giddy jumping around the bases on number 500.
Dude, when you talk about third baseman, and if Schmidt's not at least your top 2, you reevaluate your list, man.
Dude, I put him at number 1. I put him at number 1. All right, we're going.
So is this our highest third baseman then? Is 26 is where our highest, where we peak out at third base?
We'll have to see because we have a few more players to go. But the last one today, our last player of the day, number 25, Old Pete.
Grover Alexander.
Grover Alexander. What a ball player. This guy right here is directly from the legend, is directly responsible for Rogers Hornsby staying in the major leagues.
Oh, really?
Have you heard the story?
No.
Rogers Hornsby is breaking in the major leagues with St. Louis. He's a rookie shortstop and was told that if he didn't get a hit in this game, that he was going to be sent to the minors and forgotten about. And Alexander was pitching. The catcher for the Phillies heard this, went out and talked to Alexander, and Alexander said, I'm going to throw him fastballs down the middle. He did. Hornsby got a hit and got to stay in the major leagues.
Okay.
That's the legend. That's the legend of Grover Alexander.
Isn't that kind of cheating too?
If you do that, then it's the same thing as Denny McLain throwing Mickey Mantle fastballs. And the same
the
thing
fix is in, man. The fix is in.
You still got to hit it.
It's true.
You still got to hit it. But he's 373 wins in the National League.
Yeah, I'm more impressed with he had 3 seasons with 11 plus WAR. He had 15 and 16, 11 WAR, and then a 19-20, a 12 WAR season. That is phenomenal. Over 9 seasons with over 300 innings pitched. Led the league in strikeouts several times, ERA plus several times, WHIP several times. It's really hard to put Grover Alexander at number 25. I mean, he probably should be, maybe he should be higher, but I think he falls here. I think, right around 1920, that's when he started kind of on the backslide, right? He started.
But his most famous moment
is when he
comes in 1926.
Yeah. You got
the very first World Series for the St. Louis Cardinals.
You got a super hungover Grover Alexander
who had just pitched a complete game the game before.
And then he comes in and pitches in relief, and the manager, like Lazzeri, comes out, and they get Lazzeri out somehow. But like in 26, though, they pick off Babe Ruth in the World Series, right?
The story is the bases are loaded. Alexander throws the fastball to Lazzeri. He hits it 400 feet foul. And then the next pitch is the curveball, sit down, Tony. And then the final out of the World Series is made an inning or two later, and Babe Ruth's trying to steal second base.
Yeah.
And there's video of that. And it's like, why? Why are you doing this? Oh, goodness. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the Dirty Dozens for inning number 7. Hey, like it and subscribe, but I'll tell you what, this is getting really, really sticky right now.
Yeah,
next
2 episodes, everybody. It's where we're getting to the best of the best.
Then we're down to the top 25. So what do we say?
Next time, we'll see you on Star Power Cast because the dice are nice, but
the spin is in. See you next time.